For the next little while, there's nothing that needs solving. Nothing to hold up, nothing to figure out. There is only a quiet moment, arriving exactly as it is. A slow breath, a softer breath after that. The room can be whatever it is tonight, and you can simply rest inside it. Somewhere above weather and clocks, the cloud library drifts on a steady path. Warm lights, curved shelves, the kettle keeping quiet company. Somewhere far above weather and worry, there is a library that was never built on the ground. It drifts where the air is thin and calm, where moonlight rests softly on glass. This is the cloud library that catalogs dreams, and tonight it is open. It isn't open with bright lights or loud doors. It opens the way a quiet room opens when you enter it, with a gentle welcome that doesn't interrupt your thoughts. The cloud library has no rush. It keeps time the way clouds do, slowly, patiently. Out there, the sky is wide and soft. No sharp edges, no sudden sounds, only the hush of altitude and the feeling of being held by open space. If you imagine it now, you might see the library as a warm shape in the high mist, a place made for quiet thoughts, a shelter for gentle things. And the dreams that pass through it are not grand or dramatic. Most of them are small, comforting, ordinary in the best way. They are the dreams of warm rooms and soft rain, the dreams of slow walks, the dreams of finding what you thought you lost. They are kept here, carefully, so they can be borrowed again, whenever the night needs them. And if you don't remember your dreams, that's okay. The library remembers for you, not to analyze them, only to keep the soft ones close. The library travels on a wide, silent platform, steady as still water. From below, it looks like warm windows and gentle arches. It floats in a slow halo of mist. Around it, clouds fold and unfold in patient layers. There is a softness to the way it moves, not drifting like something lost, but gliding like something that knows exactly where it belongs. The platform has railings that curve in long, kind lines, no corners that feel abrupt, no angles that catch the eye too sharply. A few lanterns hang along the outer walkway. Their light is low and amber, like honey held up to the sun. Below, the cloud tops look like quiet hills, and above, the stars seem slow and patient, like they're watching without judgment. Every so often, the mist thickens and thins. The library becomes a little hidden, then visible again. A calm rhythm, like breathing. If you stay with the image, you can imagine the faintest sound of the platform, not a sharp sound, not a harsh noise, just a low, gentle hum, like a distant kettle keeping warm. Sometimes the hum is joined by the smallest whisper of wind sliding around glass, a sound that doesn't push, a sound that only passes by. And that hum says something simple. This place is steady. This place is safe. You can let your mind float with it. You can let your body sink as it floats. Inside, the air is soft. Footsteps become whispers on a dark, smooth floor. The ceiling holds a faint glow, like light that chose to stay dim. Shelves curve in long, gentle lines. The room smells like clean paper, a little vanilla and a little rain. There are rugs in the wider corridors, thick enough to quiet sound. There are benches tucked into alcoves, each with a folded blanket draped over the back. The blankets are always there, always clean, always ready. The lamps are placed carefully, not too bright, not too dim, light that doesn't demand attention, light that allows your mind to blur the edges of things. In some places, the shelves are low and the books are small, pocket dreams, little comforts someone might borrow for one night. In other places, the shelves rise higher and the volumes are heavier, long dreams, dreams that unwind slowly, like a spool of silk. There is no loud signage, no sharp labels, only small symbols raised slightly on wood or brass, meant to be understood with fingertips. A circle for warmth, a gentle curve for water, a simple step for stairs. If your mind likes order, the library offers it. If your mind likes wandering, the library offers that too. Either way, everything here moves at the speed of rest. And if you find yourself drifting away from the words, that's perfect. You can drift. The library will still be here when you return. At the front is the entry hall, and in the entry hall, everything is arranged to feel easy, more like the way a cozy room settles on its own. Voices stay low, the way people whisper without being asked. Books are held with both hands because they feel precious that way, and the lamps are always turned slowly, clockwise, simply because the library loves soft spirals. If a mind arrives still buzzing, there is a small brass bowl of polished stones to touch. The stones are smooth and familiar, warmed by many quiet hands. One stone fits neatly in the palm, another fits under the thumb. Each one gives your fingers something simple to do. When the dream archivist passes through the entry hall, they always pause here, not because they have to, because the pause feels good. A hand dips into the bowl. A stone is lifted and turned slowly. Cool at first, then gently warm. The thumb traces a small circle on its surface, calm and steady. Then the stone goes back with a quiet, muted settle, and the air feels a little softer again. If your mind is still awake, it can borrow this idea. One small sensation, one easy motion, then rest again. Tonight, the night shift begins the way it always does. A lamp check, a kettle, a page in the logbook. The archivist on duty is known simply as the dream archivist. Their coat is quiet fabric, the kind that never makes a sharp sound. A small ring of keys hangs at the hip, each key cut like a tiny wave. The archivist moves with practiced softness, not sneaking, not hurried, just moving in a way that respects the silence. On a side table sits a kettle on a warmer, ready but never boiling. Beside it, a jar of dried citrus peel and a small tin of mild tea leaves. The archivist checks the warmer with the back of their hand, warm enough to be comforting. They set out 2 cups on a tray, always 2. 1 cup for the archivist, 1 cup for the quiet itself. A cloth is folded neatly and placed under the cups, so there is no clink. A spoon is set down, handle aligned with the rim. A small lid is checked, then placed back on the tin. Everything is aligned and ready. Then the logbook is opened, but not written in yet. First, the lamps. Because the lamps set the tone, and the tone sets everything else. The archivist pauses at the first lamp, turns the dial, and watches the light settle. The glow settles, warm and steady and safe. They do the same at the next lamp and the next. Not because the lamps are broken, because the check itself is calming. A hand on the dial, a small turn, clockwise, a pause to watch the glow become even. Some lamps are shaped like small moons, some like folded paper, some like simple glass globes, with a thread of gold inside. The light never flickers. It doesn't startle. It simply appears, then rests. The archivist walks the same path each evening, past the benches with blankets, past the quiet alcoves, past a window where cloud mist slides by like slow curtains. At one point, the archivist pauses to listen. There is a soft fountain somewhere deeper in the library, and its sound is like a long exhale. There is the distant hum of the platform, like a sleeping machine. And there is the quiet inside the rooms, full and gentle, like wool. Sometimes the archivist sets the lamps into a quiet, easy pattern under their breath, not to be efficient, but to be steady. The first lamp, then the next, then another, as gently as breathing. Each number dissolves as soon as it's said. The archivist nods once, as if greeting the night. Then slowly they make their way to the end of the entry hall. At the end of the entry hall is the intake desk, a wide table of pale wood, worn smooth by careful hands. Above it hangs a sign with no words, only a simple symbol, a closed eye stitched with silver thread. The desk is always tidy, a soft mat in the center, a small tray for stamps, a brush for dust, a drawer that holds ribbons in quiet colors. When the archivist arrives, they straighten what is already straight. It's another ritual. The mat is smoothed with the palm. The stamps are aligned, edge to edge. The ribbons are checked for tangles. The brush makes one slow sweep across the wood, even if there is no dust. Then the archivist rests both hands on the table for a moment, as if the desk is a calm island, as if the night can begin here, quietly, under their palms. The closed eye symbol above the desk is not a warning, it is a comfort, a reminder that the library is not asking anyone to be alert. It is asking for softness, for gentleness. And in a way, the archivist does the same. They work as if each motion could help someone rest. They make space for quiet, the way you might make space on a pillow for your head. Dreams do not arrive in the cloud library as mist. They arrive as small, quiet objects. Sometimes a dream arrives as a slim envelope sealed with wax. sometimes as a small glass vial with a gentle shimmer inside, sometimes as a small parcel, damp at the edges, as if it sailed through remembered rain. Most nights, a courier delivers them. The couriers glide in wrapped in dust-colored capes. They set the dreams on the desk with care. Then they leave without disturbing the air. Tonight, the first delivery comes quietly, like a thought you barely notice. A courier arrives in a dust-colored cape. They set the dreams on the mat with care, and then they move on. What matters are the objects they leave behind. One pale envelope, one small vial, one paper boat. The archivist nods in thanks, and the courier is gone again, as if they were never here. The archivist doesn't rush to open anything. First, they let the objects sit. They let the desk hold them. A dream likes to settle before it's handled. The envelope looks soft at the edges, as if it has been carried through a warm pocket. The vial holds a shimmer that doesn't sparkle sharply, only glows like embers behind glass. The paper boat has a crease that catches the light, and the faintest scent of rain clings to it. A second delivery comes later. Another envelope, smaller, another vial with a softer warmth, and a tiny stone, smooth and comfortably warm, meant for the winter dreams. The winter dreams are always filed with extra blankets nearby. The archivist places the stone on a folded cloth so it can rest softly there. They set a small felt square beside it, the way you might tuck a scarf around a cold object. Later in the night, a third delivery arrives. Only one thing this time, a simple envelope, plain and quiet. The archivist accepts it with both hands and sets it on the mat as if placing down something delicate. There is no fear in any of this, only care. Care that moves slowly, care that sounds like silence. The archivist opens the logbook. Thick pages, warm and steady, a spine that yields with a sleepy softness, a fountain pen waiting in its groove. The date is written in small, neat handwriting, then the line that appears every evening, like a ritual. The library is steady, the clouds are kind, the work is gentle. The archivist pauses after the sentence, letting the ink dry. That pause is part of the writing, part of the rhythm. They write slowly on purpose. Each letter is a small movement that keeps the mind quiet. Then come the entries. An envelope, a vial, a paper boat. Another envelope, another vial, a winter stone. A plain envelope, late in the night. No long descriptions, just enough to remember. The archivist adds small marks beside each line, tiny symbols that match the stamps. A doorway, a cup of tea, a droplet, a snowflake-like curve. These marks are not meant to be read quickly. They are meant to be traced, to calm the eye. The archivist runs a finger along the last symbol, once, as if smoothing a wrinkle. Then they set the pen down. As the pen rests, the world outside the library remains soft. Clouds pass the windows in slow layers. The platform hums. The lamps glow, and if your mind is still awake, you might notice how easy it is to follow a simple routine. Write a little, pause, breathe, then write a little more and rest again. You can let the routine carry you the way a slow train carries you while you do nothing at all. The sorting begins. An envelope is chosen tonight, pale blue, sealed with a crescent moon. The seal is broken carefully. Inside is a thin card and a thread of silver ribbon. The card holds no letters. Instead, it holds small signs of feeling. The archivist sets the card on the soft mat and reaches for the stamps. Warm brass stamps, a doorway, a cup of tea. Tonight, the stamp is a doorway. That means it belongs to the door dreams. Door dreams are the ones where a hidden passage appears, a hallway that wasn't there before, a door in a wall that used to be solid. Here, they are not frightening. They are curious. They smell like old wood and warm dust. The archivist presses the stamp to the card, holds it for a second, lifts it away. A clean doorway symbol appears. Then the card is slid into its sleeve. The silver ribbon is tied in a simple loop, not a bow that calls attention, just a soft knot that holds. The archivist repeats the process for the second envelope, slower this time. Open, card on the mat. Choose the stamp, press, lift, tie. Then the plain envelope is opened, even more slowly. The archivist sets it down, breathes once, and lets the paper relax under their fingertips. With each repetition, the room feels quieter. Not because anything changes, because your mind starts to trust the pattern. The vial is held up next. The warmth inside is gentle, not hot. It looks like comfort held in glass. The archivist sets it in a padded slot on a tray. The paper boat goes into a shallow drawer, lined with soft cloth, so it can dry without losing its shape. And the winter stone is wrapped once in a small strip of felt, like a quiet scarf. When the intake tray is full, the archivist places everything onto a low cart. The cart rolls on soft wheels, almost silent. A small icon marks it as intake. They push it slowly into the sorting hall, where the shelves open like a calm sea. The sorting hall is organized not by letters, but by the way dreams feel when they settle. Some dreams belong near water, where a low fountain sounds like a long, gentle breath. Some belong near warmth, where a cabinet holds quiet heat and the faintest scent of bread. And some belong in the curved aisles of doors and corridors, guided by raised symbols meant for fingertips. The archivist rolls the cart down the first aisle, pausing at each section as if greeting old friends. By the fountain, the sound seems to slow the air itself. Near the warm cabinet, the steady heat feels like a kitchen at night after the dishes are done. The shelves are curved, so no corridor ends sharply. It simply turns, gently, into more calm. At the door dream section, the archivist finds the right shelf by touch. Tiny raised symbols run along the edge of the wood, shapes that can be read with fingertips. They pause, and the cart rests beside them, as quiet as a sleeping animal. Then, one by one, they lift each item from the tray, set it down, and ease it into alignment with a gentle touch. A quiet breath follows each placement. The dream with the doorway stamp is slid into place between two slim volumes that already belong here. The archivist smooths the spine of each book with the flat of their fingers. The paper boat is carried to the rain dreams. A drawer slides open without a sound. The boat is set down. The drawer closes, slow and soft. The vials of warmth go to the hearth dreams, near a gentle heater that never roars. The winter stone goes to its place with the extra blankets, where a folded wool cloth waits like a small bed. Each item finds a home, and each home makes the library feel more settled. When the shelves are settled, the archivist returns for the second part of the night, binding. Not every dream arrives ready to be shelved. Some arrive as loose, gentle impressions, like feathers that want to drift. Those are gathered in the binding room, where dreams are given a quiet cover and a steady spine. The binding room smells like warm paper and clean air, with a faint hint of citrus. A large table is covered in felt that softens every sound. Above it, a lamp with a woven shade holds a kind, steady glow. Everything here is arranged for calm: soft brushes, a smooth folder tool for pressing edges, a small tray of thread resting in gentle curves. The archivist chooses a dream from the loose pile. It rests in a jar like a quiet memory of sound. The lid is open just a little, and the impression inside sighs out softly, like wind in a distant hallway. Then it settles again, content to be held. The archivist listens for only a moment, just enough to feel its shape. A dream of wandering through a lantern-lit market at night, warm fruit, gentle voices, slow footsteps on smooth stone. A blank cover is selected from a stack. The cover is soft to the touch and takes a light stamp well. The archivist presses a simple symbol on the spine. A few hanging lanterns, quiet and familiar. Then the binding begins in a slow, soothing rhythm. The thread moves through the paper with gentle guidance. A soft pull, never tight. A small pause to smooth the edge. And then the same calm motion again. The archivist lets the repetition do what it does best. It quiets the mind. It softens the shoulders. It makes time feel wide and unhurried. Between each gentle pass of thread, the archivist prepares the next length slowly. They draw it from the spool in an easy glide, letting it slide between two fingers. They smooth it once, so it will move comfortably. Then they lay it on the felt in a relaxed curve, like a line settling into sleep. When the book is finished, the archivist presses the spine with the smooth tool, slow and careful. Then the volume is set on a tray to rest. A Another dream is gathered, another cover, the same calm rhythm, with small, gentle variations. By the time the tray is full, the table looks peaceful again. Tools returned neatly, thread tucked away, the felt smoothed with a slow hand, and the binding room becomes quiet, like it was never used at all. The cart is ready now, labeled only with a small symbol for the whisper stacks. The whisper stacks are the oldest part of the cloud library. Here the shelves are taller, and even in these tucked away aisles, the air feels open and easy to breathe. The corridors feel more tucked away, and the air feels even softer. The books in this section are the ones people return to again and again. Comfort dreams, familiar dreams, dreams that leave warmth behind. The archivist pushes the cart slowly into the stacks, and every detail here is built for quiet. A ladder with felt-wrapped steps, a small brass bell that is never rung, only touched, a window seat with a folded blanket, a bowl of polished stones arranged by color, and a quiet clock that does not tick. It only sighs once every hour. The archivist shelves the new volumes with care. They lift a volume, slide it into place, and smooth the spine with the flat of their fingers. A small pause, and then the next. The whisper stacks offer gentle themes. Dreams of kitchens at night, when everything is clean and the lights are low. Dreams of rain on windows, steady and safe. Dreams of slow trains, rocking softly, going somewhere, without urgency. Dreams of quiet boats, moving across calm water. Dreams of long hallways with warm lamps, where the end is always a comfortable room. The archivist pauses at a shelf of kitchen dreams and inhales the faint scent of bread that seems to live in the wood. They pause at a shelf of rain dreams and listen to the fountain, imagining it as rain. They pause at the travel dreams and feel the gentle sway of the platform under their feet, like a train. Everything here mirrors comfort, and as the cart grows lighter, the library grows quieter. The archivist uses the ladder for a few shelves, stepping slowly on felt-wrapped rungs. Up one step, then another, then a pause with both hands resting lightly on the side rails. From up here, the lamps look even softer, like small moons behind paper. The archivist slides a volume into a high shelf, then climbs down with the same patience. Down one step, then another, then the floor again, steady beneath their feet. At the brass bell, the archivist touches it with one fingertip. No ringing, only the coolness of metal. A small reminder that quiet can be felt, not heard. The window seat waits with its folded blanket, and for a moment the archivist smooths the blanket's edge, as if thanking it for being there. Then they continue shelving. Lift, place, and smooth, then pause. The themes repeat, and that repetition becomes a soft song. Kitchen warmth, rain on glass, a slow train, a quiet boat, a hallway with warm lamps. Familiar, gentle, easy to hold. Outside, clouds drift past the windows like slow curtains. Inside, the lamps seem to soften further, as if they are dimming themselves for sleep. Near the back of the Whisper Stacks is a balcony reading nook, not grand, simply perfect. A low sofa, a small table, a lamp with a shade like folded paper, a kettle that keeps warmth without boiling, 2 cups, always 2. The archivist sets the cart aside, then moves into the nook like someone entering a familiar room at the end of a long day. They place the kettle on its warmer and check the heat with the back of their hand. Warm, steady, and safe. A jar of dried citrus peel is opened briefly, just long enough for the scent to rise. Then it is closed again, like closing a book. Tea is poured. Steam curls upward, slow and pale. 1 cup is set beside the sofa. The 2nd cup is set across from it. The archivist settles into the sofa for a moment without reading. They simply listen to the quiet. The nook has a view through curved glass. Outside, mist drifts past. Stars appear and disappear, faint like distant lanterns. The archivist takes a sip of tea, not for caffeine, not for energy, only for warmth. They pull the blanket from the sofa and smooth it once, twice, until it lies flat. They place their hand on the blanket for a moment, feeling the softness under the palm. If your body is still awake, it can borrow this image too. A warm drink, a soft blanket, a lamp that doesn't glare, a window with slow clouds. The archivist rests their hands on the cup and feels the heat soak into the palms. Then, when the tea is half finished and the steam is thinner, they stand again. The archivist shifts a little deeper slowly, letting the cushions take their weight. They exhale once, long and quiet. Then they watch the steam rise again, thinner now, drifting upward and dissolving into the lamplight. The tea tastes mild, like warmth without edges. The archivist sets the cup down on the table with no sound at all. They rest their hands in their lap and let the room be still around them. If your breathing is shallow, it can deepen a little. If it is deep already, it can stay deep. Either way, nothing needs to change quickly. Outside the curved glass, the mist thickens for a moment. The stars fade, then the mist thins, and the stars return, faint, like someone turning a dimmer very slowly. The archivist smiles, only slightly, and pulls the blanket over one knee, then the other. A small cocoon, a small shelter. Then they stand again, not with effort, but with the easy motion of someone who knows the next step, because the night shift continues. But it continues softly. Return dreams come back in the early hours. They arrive quietly, often in a simple cloth bag. These are dreams someone borrowed for comfort, dreams of rain on windows, dreams of walking beside calm water, dreams of finding a warm room at the end of a long hallway. When a person wakes, the borrowed dream slips back into the sky and returns here, ready to be shelved again. The return cart is rolled out, and the work becomes very simple. Lift, place, and smooth the spine. A small pause, and then the next. To keep the mind calm, the archivist sometimes lets their breath set a small, easy pattern, and then lets the idea of pattern dissolve. A dream returned, another dream returned, and another, until it becomes only a gentle background hum. And after a while, it becomes only a quiet hum beneath everything. Each shelf becomes a gentle destination. Each book becomes a small weight placed back where it belongs. When the return bag is empty, the archivist folds it neatly. It is folded neatly, then folded again, then into the drawer. They wipe the cart handle with a soft cloth, slow and careful, as if erasing the last trace of effort. They return the cloth to its hook. They check the cups at the tea nook. One is empty, one is still warm. Both are set back on the tray, silent. Then, at the very end, the archivist closes the logbook. A soft hush as the pages meet. The pen is placed back in its groove. The lamps are left low, not off, just low, because the library never truly stops. It only grows quieter, like a dream deepening. The cart moves. The wheels turn without sound. The shelves accept each dream as if welcoming it home. As the routine continues, the archivist stays with the calm pattern. From time to time, a spine is nudged gently flush with the others, and the hand moves on. Then the routine continues, softer than before. Another dream, another shelf, one more quiet breath. As the hours pass, the archivist's movements grow slower. The lamps are dimmed a fraction. The clouds drift past the windows like slow curtains. Near the end of the shift, the archivist returns to the entry hall. The polished stones sit in their bowl, catching a faint light. The logbook waits on the desk. The archivist writes one more line beneath the opening ritual. The shelves are quiet. The dreams are home. The night is soft. Outside, the first hint of pale sky begins to change the color of the clouds. Not bright, not sudden, just a gradual easing, like a sigh. The last lamp is turned a fraction lower. The warm light becomes even calmer. The library does not close. It simply becomes quieter, like a room where someone has fallen asleep with a book resting gently on their chest. And somewhere far below this drifting place, people begin to wake, carrying small fragments of comfort. A lantern-lit market, a calm corridor, a warm cup of tea, the sound of rain. The cloud library remains above, steady and kind, cataloging, shelving, holding dreams gently, the way the night holds you now. Good night.